What is going on, college basketball fans? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at my subscribers brackets and we are going to grade them W, L, or mid. So we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to see if I like their bracket, if I like their upsets, if I like their final fours, and just grade it. W, mid, or L. So make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new. Hit that like button if you guys enjoy. Let's get into these brackets. Alright, our first bracket is coming in here from Mason. I'm so excited to get into grading these brackets, reviewing what you guys have. One of my favorite things we've done on this channel. We just started the series last year. I want to do more of these. Keep sending me your guys' brackets on Twitter at 6mandanny in the DMs. My DMs are open for you guys to send them because we might do a part 2 to this if we can get to it before the tournament begins. But let's get into it. We do have North Carolina as the national champion. I think I like that pick. Not a huge popular pick this season. A lot of people were going UConn, Houston. I think North Carolina is actually like the third most popular, but I could definitely see it happening. I mean, you got the veterans RJ Davis, Armando Bacot, Harrison Ingram has been a huge piece for that team. I could see it happening. Your other Final Four teams, you got Auburn coming out the East, which is interesting. I don't know if I like them over UConn just because Auburn does struggle against top level competition. I think they are like 1-8, somewhere in that range against quad 1 teams this year. I just don't know if Auburn has it in them to beat UConn. I do like Drake down there as a Sweet 16 run, Illinois beating them, getting to the Elite 8. I just don't know if I see Auburn being able to make the Final Four in that region because of how good UConn is there. So that is kind of tough for me. Houston coming out of the South, I like that over Kentucky, 1/3. I like that a lot. Creighton beating Purdue in the Elite 8. I like that. I like Creighton out of the Midwest region a lot. I think they are a very, very good 3 seed. And then we have North Carolina over Arizona. So no double-digit seeds in the Elite 8. I usually like to see 1, but you do have McNeese in the Sweet 16. You do have Florida upsetting Marquette in the Sweet 16. They're not a double-digit, but a 7 seed. New Mexico in the Sweet 16. And then you do have Drake in the Sweet 16. So you do have some double-digit seeds in the Sweet 16. I do like this bracket. I think North Carolina versus Houston is definitely a very possible national championship game. But I am, however, going to have to rank this first bracket a mid-bracket just because I don't like the Auburn pick necessarily, not over UConn. I just don't like that draw for them. And I also would have liked to see a little bit more of a Cinderella run. But overall, not a bad bracket. I really do like Creighton in the Final Four. I really do like North Carolina versus Houston in the championship game. But I do have to rank this a mid-bracket. It's just not a top tier for me. Bracket, we got one coming in here from Aiden. And already see UConn as our national champion here in this bracket. Definitely a possibility. Of course, we all know UConn can win it all, and he does have them facing off against Kentucky. That is an interesting matchup. So you have Kentucky coming out as a 3 seed, going on a deep run, beating Houston, beating Creighton in the Final Four game, and making it to the national championship. And I already see you do have New Mexico in the Final Four. I like to see that Cinderella run. New Mexico is and has been a popular Cinderella. I think the most popular Cinderella this year, but for good reason. I love New Mexico to go on a deep run and be this year's Cinderella, but it is a very popular pick. That does scare me, but I'm not going to discredit you for that because I do like this New Mexico team a lot as well. And you do have them beating Baylor, beating Arizona, and beating Michigan State. So you do actually have Michigan State over North Carolina, trusting some Izzo magic there in March, him all the way to the Elite 8. I do kind of like that as well. I could see it potentially happening. Michigan State just has not looked good this year, but they didn't look good last year, and they did still make the Sweet 16, so you still got to watch out for that Izzo in March Madness. Up in the top, you got UConn over Iowa State. I do think that region is very easy to chalk. I also did the same thing there. A Final Four of New Mexico, Creighton, Kentucky, and UConn. Championship UConn over Creighton. or UConn over Kentucky, excuse me. I like this a lot. You do have your Cinderella. I'm trying to see if you have any other double-digit seeds in your Sweet 16. You do have James Madison. Okay, so that is another one that you have. New Mexico and James Madison are kind of your sleepers. Probably would have liked to see one more, but overall, I like what you got going on with this bracket. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rate this a W. Next bracket, let's go. We got one coming in here from Brady. Let's see what Brady's cooking up with this bracket. He's got Purdue over Iowa State in the championship game. And low-key, I kind of like that. That is like a different championship matchup that I haven't really been seeing a lot of people put. So right off the bat, seeing that championship matchup, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I don't really see a sleeper in your Final Four. You're going 1-1-1-2 seed. I don't necessarily like that. I would have liked to see at least a 3-4 to make it to the Final Four. Some sort of sleeper. But I do really like that national championship matchup. Let's see if you have any sleepers at least going on a little bit of a run. So you got an ACC matchup in the Elite Eight of the West Region, Clemson versus North Carolina. You got Grand Canyon to the Sweet 16. You got Duquesne beating Illinois and BYU. Yeah, that's where I'm going to have to... I don't know. I don't like Duquesne a lot. Now, of course, watch it happen, but I really don't like Duquesne this year as a team to beat BYU or Illinois. Like, even if they get by BYU, I just don't like Duquesne to get past the first round really at all. I think that Duquesne pick there, along with... I do like the national championship matchup. I just think maybe out of your West region or potentially out of your South region, have a little bit more of a sleeper pick in your Final Four, or at least to the Elite Eight. So for those reasons, I am going to have to say this is a mid-bracket. And the only thing keeping it from an L is that awesome national championship matchup between Purdue and Iowa State. A very good one I haven't seen. A very possible matchup that I could see happening where Purdue wins. So that's the only thing keeping it from an L. But you almost ruin your chances with that Duquesne pick. All right, next bracket. We got one coming in here from EagleFan. And right off the bat, I absolutely hate the Eagles in the NFL. So you're already not off to a good start, buddy. But let's get into it. St. Mary's is your national champion. I mean, oh my God. This is abysmal. St. Mary's, Washington State, NC State, and Oregon. I like the boldness, okay? I do like the boldness, right? I did say I want to see upsets, but this is 100% is not going to happen. This just isn't going to happen, and I would like if you had either NC State or Oregon or Washington State, one of those three in your Final Four as your Cinderella. But having all of them along with St. Mary's and as your national champion, I mean, this is just an L. I don't really have to look too much more into this bracket. And you're an Eagles fan, so take 2 L's. Next bracket. Next bracket is in here from Ethan's Hustle. And I'm having a tough time looking at this bracket, but I'm going to do my best here. I do see Kansas as the national champion. I see Duke making it to the Final Four. I see Iowa State making it, and North Carolina. Okay, so interesting. 2 Big 12 teams making it, and neither one of them being Houston. Iowa State to beat Auburn. Again, I just don't really like Auburn over UConn. I don't like Kansas as a national champion pick. I think they're an outside pick just because they don't have a ton of depth. He did say in his message he is a little bit biased in this bracket, and so I'm pretty sure he's a Kansas fan. I'm not really liking the bracket. I'm not really feeling Auburn over UConn or Kansas to win the national championship. And you got Duke and North Carolina, so 2 ACC and 2 Big 12. I just don't like that. I don't like that. I need more variety. I need something else. I don't like the pick. I got to go with the L. I'm sorry. I got to go with L on this bracket. Got one from Torin, and come on, Torin. Come on, Torin. We need some W's here. We need some W's. Give me something. And right off the bat, I see Illinois in the Final Four. Are we trusting Brad Underwood, though? Are we trusting Brad Underwood, Torin? I don't know. And Kentucky in the Final Four. So 2-3 seeds in the Final Four. Interesting. And not really any sleepers. You got Wisconsin in the Sweet 16. Getting past James Madison and Duke. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. So no upsets. No big upsets, really. And Illinois beating UConn. I would be fine with that. But also Kentucky beating Houston. Let's see what's in the bottom region of this bracket. Let's see what's in the bottom region. So we have Akron as a little bit of a sleeper. Okay. I don't hate that. That's your first real sleeper in the Sweet 16. And also New Mexico in the Sweet 16. None of them making the Elite Eight, though. You got Tennessee over Purdue. And you got North Carolina over Tennessee. And yeah, I do see you have Kentucky as your champion. That is the best I can see there. I do think it's possible Kentucky wins the national championship, but 2 SEC teams in the Final Four, Kentucky and Tennessee, I just don't like that. And then Illinois and North Carolina. I'd say this is low tier, mid, maybe L. I want to see some W's, but you guys are making it hard right now. I'm not going to lie. All right, Joel. Joel. Maybe we should say a prayer. Please let Joel have a W bracket. We need some W's. Let's go. Okay. First, we have UConn over Iowa State. I like that. I like BYU coming out. That's fine. Big 12 matchup there in the Sweet 16. I'm cool with that. UConn over Iowa State's cool with me. NC State and the Elite Eight. I actually have the same Elite Eight matchup. You have a sleeper in your Elite Eight. I like that a lot. You guys know I like that. I actually have both of these as my Elite Eights out of these top regions. So let's get into the bottom regions. Let's make sure does he have any other, sleepers in the Sweet 16 that I'm missing? James Madison making it out, that 12 over 5. Drake over Washington State, I like that. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to his bottom bracket. We got New Mexico making it to the Final Four. I like that. UConn and Creighton, a Big East battle in the national championship. They did split in the regular season. They didn't see each other in the Big East tournament because Creighton did lose earlier, and then Creighton beating UConn. It is possible because Creighton did beat UConn this year. I might give you a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because I do think that you might be a Creighton fan for this, and I could see it. I need to hand out some W's, and I do like that you do have New Mexico in the Final Four as your sleeper, 2 1 seeds and a 3 seed. I like that. You have also NC State in the Elite Eight as a Cinderella. I see you got McNeese going another 12 over 5, so you're not afraid to pick a few upsets. I want to hand out some more W's. You get a W. All right, Charlie. Everybody turn your head that way, about 90 degrees. And let's check out Charlie's bracket. So Houston over UConn. I already kind of see that. And that's fine with me. I think that is definitely a possible championship matchup. And we see another New Mexico. This is the third New Mexico in the Final Four that we have seen in this video. And I almost think it's not going to happen just because it's like the most popular Cinderella to have this year, so it's starting to become kind of like the basic pick for a Cinderella this year. But I don't hate it because I do like that New Mexico team a lot. So you do have a Cinderella, and you got Tennessee as your Final Four team. I'm cool with that as well. I'm trying to see if you have any other kind of sleepers moving on. I see Illinois is in your Elite Eight, New Mexico, North Carolina, Purdue, Tennessee, Florida. A good sleeper in the Elite Eight. I like that pick. I like that pick for sure. Other than that, in the Sweet 16, you have James Madison in the Sweet 16. Okay. And that's pretty much it for upset picks. I kind of like this bracket. I'm going to go ahead and give Charlie a W. That is going to do it for this one, though, guys. That is all the brackets that I got sent. I did get a couple more, but I didn't get to click on them because whenever you guys sent me the links, I tried to look at them, but it actually doesn't let me look at them until after the tournament begins when you guys send me the links like that. So if you guys want to see another episode of this, I will try to get it out before Thursday. So send me more brackets on Twitter because it is one of my favorite series to do. I love looking at other people's brackets and trying to grade them. Hopefully we get some more W's. I promise if I gave you guys a mid or L, I wasn't trying to be mean, but I got to give somebody some mids and some L's. I wanted to hand out more W's, but maybe in the next one we will. But that is going to do it for this one. Subscribe for more March Madness content. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.